Hi everyone, it's Joti.
It's Manveer.
And here is our third episode of our podcast of Socks, Snacks, and Switchbacks.
Yeah, so we actually came out to Harrison side today. This is our first time coming out to Harrison for a hike. And it was long awaited. We've been hiking mostly Chilliwack and Squamish, right?
Yeah, mostly.
So we thought, obviously, why not switch it up? And so it was we live in Surrey, so it was about an hour, 18-minute drive. And the entire way was very, very peaceful. Not on a highway or going farmland, very, very nice rolling roads and even the off-road. So we actually came up to a hike today. The off-road itself was about, I would say, 40 to 50 minutes. What would you think?
Well, yeah, around like 40. Honestly, I think it's less than that, man. I think it's like maybe 30 to 40 minutes, I think. We're kind of getting confused with the timeline because we ended up going way too far up the mountain and we ended up off-roading for
an hour
almost.
So I'll give you a little details to that. So that's why I always say we go on all trails before we do any hike. When we look one up, we will not only look at the description, but we also look at the reviews.
Yeah.
Reason why that's important, descriptions can be outdated. The circumstances on the hikes, the trails can change with the weather, with the seasons. And so when we read the actual reviews itself, or when I did especially, I saw that people said that there's a parking lot once you reach the off-road at the very top, and the parking lot itself was towards the left-hand side of the off-road. We went up too far forward.
We totally missed it, and we just kept going up the mountain for an hour. And then we're like, this doesn't seem right. Like, are you sure this is okay? And she was like, yeah. And Manveer's the type of person who will just keep going until she lands somewhere. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know if this is okay. So, we checked our map again, and it was saying that the mountain was really far still from where we were. I'm like, this doesn't sound right. There's no way that the mountain is this far. So we ended up turning back around, going down the hill, and we were like, let's just go all the way back down and figure this out when we get data. And then
we came across a gentleman that was hiking up with his dog. And usually, you're a little reserved. You don't want to ask too many questions. I was like to Joti, I looked at her, I was like, please ask him. We rolled down the window, and luckily the man was from this area, so he knew the area very well. Yeah. And he directed us, and he told us that we were only 2 minutes away from the parking lot. We were driving an hour out to look for.
Yeah.
And we
had almost given up at that point. We were just going to go all the way back down to the main road. But luckily we bumped into this man. Bless him. He was such a nice guy. And he was like, the off-road to the actual mountain, is just up ahead. So we ended up, taking that turn, and we found it, within a few minutes, luckily. And
yeah, this is a new area for us, and that's the thing. Whenever you're exploring new spots, you should have expectations, but at the same time, things don't always go as planned as well, right? Mm-hmm. So, for instance, we kind of had an idea of what it would look like once we reached the top, but things were different, and we had to veer off of what we intended the thing would be. And so, even that veer off, it teaches us a lot. Now that we've learned the area a little bit, probably, it would be helpful next time when we come out. We can give another try, and it'll be more easy to navigate comparatively to today. Mm-hmm. But really another interesting thing, so when we looked up the height, it was called, what was it called again, Joti? Woodside?
Well, we don't want to disclose that, though. We don't want to disclose that.
Sorry. Let me actually keep my mouth sealed. I don't know what the hike is called, actually.
Yeah, we don't know. What's the hike? The reason that we don't want to disclose it is not because we're trying to gatekeep it or anything. But definitely reach out in the comments, and we will reply to you. We don't hesitate to let you know what hikes we do. It's just that sometimes we just want to keep it a little bit of a mystery in our videos. But otherwise, DM us on Instagram or whatever you want to do, and we will definitely let you know. Keep the suspense going a little bit.
If people that are local to Agassiz probably know this area, but when we reached the top at this viewpoint, there was a space, there was turf laid out for paragliders. So that spot is really known, and there's a lot of people in the community that come out weekly, even possibly every other day. Because right now, what we learned from an individual we met at the top, this is a perfect weather for it. And how was your interaction with him?
Actually, he was so great. Yeah. So we'll actually post a clip on our Instagram of our interaction with him. We interviewed him for a couple minutes. Yeah. Such a nice guy. He's originally from Nova Scotia, and he's a paragliding instructor. He used to be a skydiving instructor. So we had a little chat with him, and we kind of just saw him run off of the mountain that we were kind of hanging out at. And now what we're thinking of doing is paragliding for next weekend. Yeah. We'll see if we end up actually doing it, but we definitely, I mean, well, hopefully, plans can change, but that's the plan as of right now. So we'll definitely be paragliding. Hopefully. We
were going to be paraglide today because when we were talking to this individual, he's like, there's someone coming along. He's actually taking a few people, so he wouldn't mind taking you guys, but it's just taking a very long time. We thought we would better research it first. Yeah. See if those individuals have their credentials that are required. That's the thing. It was a spontaneous adventure, a lot of adrenaline. It was in the moment. We would have done it, but you have to always stay safe. Mm-hmm. Because we've met these individuals, they talked about their experiences, but at the same time, you have to always validate the fact that they have the appropriate credentials so that it's safe for you to take that flight. Because the last thing you want is those Instagram reels you see of those accidents of paragliders. We do not want to be hanging off a bar. I don't know if you want to, but I know I don't want to myself. No. Always mitigate chances of risk by always researching, and that's where this girl comes into play. I'm very impulsive. She plans, right?
I hesitate at these kinds of situations where Manveer's just like, let's just go do it, and I'm like, I think we should wait it out a little bit. Yeah. Search this guy up, and see how things go. No, but obviously we trust these people. We did talk to them quite a bit. But yeah, we'll see how next weekend goes. One thing I learned is that if you ever get lost on a hike, never hesitate to roll your window down and ask someone that's walking up what the directions are, because you will end up learning a lot from them. If we never asked that man who was walking up, we would have gone home honestly at that point. So yeah, always ask people around you. Like, who cares? Just be confident. Ask them for help, ask for guidance.
And we live in Canada, and as the stereotype goes, Canadians are very polite. So all you need to always do is just, say hi, have a conversation, and you learn a lot of things. For instance, today we met a paraglider we probably would have never met if we were in our homes in Surrey. Yeah. We had to get out of our homes, build those connections, and we learned so much about paragliding. He actually spent an extensive amount of time with us, explaining us the safety procedures, how he sets up, the ones that he's done around BC. I think from the app that he showed, he's already done 85 glides. So that's a monumental moment on its own, right?
Yeah, and the world record of paragliding. Like, who would have known that unless you talk to someone who's doing it right in front of you, right? But yeah, definitely DM us or comment if you would like to know where exactly this little hike was. We'll definitely be back. I really liked it. The views were amazing.
This podcast is very new. Obviously, this is the 3rd episode. Tell us what you guys enjoyed, the type of conversations you want to hear. If there's something specific you want to hear about the trails, the locations around, anything else, campsites, let us know in the comment section below, because we are learning as we're doing it, right? We're not like these experienced content creators. We're kind of going with the flow, and we kind of base our creativity off of either the content we see on our explore pages, or still even like having conversations with people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And me and Jota, between both of us, we bounce off ideas off each other all the time, right? So where this page was first created as just basically a documentation of our hikes, now it's become a little bit more than that. Like, we're very passionate about bringing this environment, bringing nature to you guys, and making you feel more comfortable with leaving your homes. I know it can be scary. I know our parents, may say, it may not be safe. And that, not to say that's not true, but at the same time, you learn how to take risks within your safety. Yeah. The only way you do it is by knowing your limit. Right?
Yeah, we take very safe risks. We don't... Yeah. Maybe some of us will try to be impulsive and take risks, but we're very safe with our risks. Like, very, very safe. We triple think before we do anything major. And also, just to wrap this up, because I think we are almost at time. We're trying to keep it around 10 minutes. Manveer is doing a lot better this week. I know we have been getting a lot of comments, a lot of people checking in with her injury. Thank you so much for everyone for reaching out to her, because she went through a lot. She's doing a lot better, and today, I mean, she was great today. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone checking in.
Thank
we
you
really
so much.
appreciate it.
I'm actually doing much better. My wrist is slowly healing. Wound over my lip is getting there. I was kind of scared because I'm like, this is a prized possession, right?
Yeah.
Can't be destroying this, but
gotta keep it good for the content.
You already know. But scrapes, bruises happen. That's a part of life. It's about how you recover. Listen to your body, right? This is not me pushing myself to be like, against the odds. I always want to be safe. And if I'm truly very hurt and I'm restricted with my movement, you want to be balanced with that. You don't want to take any steps that is going to further irritate make it more aggressive for you to do the hike because you hiked with an injury, right? So we're always playing it safe. And she keeps me in check. I'm a very stubborn person. Yeah. I'm like, let's go do hikes. I wanted to do a backpacking hike. That I remember in the last video I said, I'm like, hey, interesting hike next week. But we're probably going to do that in the future for sure.
Yeah.
But today I only kept it safe because of my very best friend. And she's always making sure that, I'm not pushing myself to a point where I can hurt myself more.
Yeah, definitely not. We're not doing a hike where we're going to be using our hands anytime soon until she's healed. So we're going to take it easy for a little bit. But, backpacking for sure to come this summer. So stay tuned.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.